All aboard! Next stop, Chicago Junction.
And welcome to Chicago Junction, the radio program that is all about the amazing world of railroading, both the many facets of the industry and model railroading. I'm your announcer, Brian Ballou, and here is our boss, the head of the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network, and our chief electrical engineer, Mr. John DeVita.
Well, thank you very much, Brian. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another broadcast of Chicago Junction from the John DeVita Broadcast Center on the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network on Wednesday, May the 8th, the year 2019. Today, the panel will be talking about railroads and model railroads. And now to start today's broadcast, here's our announcer, Mr. Brian.
Thank you, John. And since I missed out again on the election, I am to be your semi-host today and try to keep the chaos to a minimum. I am Brian Ballou. I am a member of several railway museums, the San Diego and Arizona, the Pacific Southwest Railway Museum in San Diego, California. San Diego, California, which is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year of the building of the San Diego and Arizona Railroad, the Impossible Road, SP's line into San Diego. We've got the Reading Company Technical and Historical Society, with a museum in Hamburg, Pennsylvania, Reading, Pennsylvania. Chicago chapter NRHS, where I'm director, and many, many more. And I like to play with trains and bitch something that doesn't go right with the industry because they don't do anything about it. But anyway, to my to my right, I have Ron?
I'm Ron Stock, retired library director from Eisenhower Public Library, a filmer at heart, and like taking photographs of trains and, going to see different club layouts whenever there's an opportunity and things like that, and just trying to keep up on trains.
Good evening. My name is Kevin Berry. I'm a retired Chicago police sergeant, a director with the Chicagoland Lionel Railroad Club, and a lifelong Lionel operator and collector. Lifelong meaning starting at the age of 7.
Me next?
I guess so.
Who else is left at the table?
I don't know. Dave DeRuska, retired locomotive engineer, vice president and board member of the Blackhawk chapter of the National Railway Historical Society. I run our Facebook page for Chicago Junction, along with a couple other Facebook pages regarding railroad history. And I'd say I'm a blogger, but I haven't blogged in so long, I think it's a lie. I do have a blog called Player with Railroads, but I haven't posted anything on there in ages. My latest project is the Chicago Railroad History Month, with the hopes that in 2023, the 175th anniversary of the running of the Pioneer locomotive out to Oak Park, we will have a year-long celebration of various events and activities, and we shall see.
And trying to get all the, or at least the close-by organizations to try to all group together to come up with something.
Yeah. And as I told our the Blackhawk chapter members on Friday, whatever happens is fine with me. And whatever doesn't happen, I'm not going to worry about. Basically setting a challenge to different groups and organizations. If you're interested in doing something, do it. Don't expect me to plan it. Don't expect me to pay for it. Simple as that.
And hope we'll still be around to broadcast it.
Yeah, well, I'm expecting to get a letter again this year of proclamation from the mayor's office for Railroad History Month. So
That'll be a good start.
when that happens, it'll be the second time we had it, and I will start doing more promotion and publicity.
We can do that. Well, do you want to start off with the news?
Yeah, I got some fun stuff here. We were talking about this futility of politics earlier.
Yes, we were.
A Chicago lawmaker has proposed cutting Metro Electric district fares to CTA levels in order to increase affordable rail service on the city's south side. The bill, introduced by Illinois State Representative Marcus Evans, Jr., a Democrat, would set fares for Metro Electric trips within the city as equal to CTA rail fares, which are $2.50 at the regular rate. Metro Electric fares within the city currently range from $4 to $5.50 for a single ride. Southside community activists have long discussed converting Metro Electric line, which runs from downtown into the south suburbs, into a rapid transit line with more frequent stops to make up for the lack of rapid transit options on the far south side. It's a quality of life issue, said Linda Thisted, co-chair of the Coalition for Modern Metro Electric. Ever heard of them?
No.
No. Which supports the bill. Well, they support the bill. A lot of people can't afford Metro Electric fares, so they take really slow buses. This could transform the South Side and the South Shore. The coalition is made up of business, neighborhood, and transit advocacy groups, including the Center for Neighborhood Technology, the Active Transportation Alliance, and the Hyde Park Chamber of Commerce. Oh, you know the Hyde Parkers would have to get in there somewhere. That's a liberal cause. Truth being told, I am a liberal, so I get to laugh at my own people, too. The coalition is made up of business, neighborhood. I did that already. Expansion of Southside service through Metro could be less expensive than a parallel expansion of the CTA's Red Line south from 95th to 130th Street, which will cost about $2.3 billion. The CTA is planning the extension, though it does not yet have the money to pay for it. Metro said it was willing to discuss the proposal, which would also allow Metro Electric riders to use the Venture card to get on the train. We look forward to working with Representative Evans and others to determine whether this is feasible and affordable, said Metro spokesman Michael Gillis. Metro has seen a fall in ridership, 9% between 2014 and 2018, a period of time in which the railway raised fares 4 times that they'll pay for new equipment. Metro attributed the ridership drop to fare increases and other factors, such as low gas prices, and Uber and Lyft, which is really taking a cut into the CTA. They're hurting big time.
Well, yeah, that's why they're going on strike, I guess.
Uber and Lyft, they want to get more, the drivers want more money.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, they struck today,
Yeah.
the day that we taped the show.
Yeah, and hopefully a lot of people use public transit today and realize how convenient and inexpensive it is.
I mean, getting around the city with rapid transit is not that bad.
No. I use it all the time, honestly. It's
I do too.
great. Ultimately, we need to get more people on public transportation, said Evans. If Metro Electric could be lower and more affordable, I think people on the south side of Chicago would ride it more and use it to connect with the CTA. He also supports the Red Line expansion. Gee, that makes sense. I think Chicago is going to be a growing city in the future, and we need a transit system to handle the population that all live on the north side. Oops, he didn't say that. Both Mayor Rahm Emanuel and Mayor-elect Lori Lightfoot have expressed interest in increased use of the Metro Electric line to improve transit on the south side. So, and then along with that, Metro may close Kenwood and Woodlawn stations if ridership does not improve. It seems like one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing in this thing. These people are hilarious, I tell you.
Exactly what do they intend to do with all the stations that have been rehabbed on the South Shore from 71st Street going south? Because the platforms are at the foot level of the platform is at the level of the top of the doors if they try to switch it over to CTAL cars.
No,
The idea was that Metro was just going to basically give the equipment to the CTA and the CTA would run it. Ignoring, and I've gotten into discussions with these people online, and it's a waste of time. You try to tell them, look, there's a difference between what's considered heavy rail or commuter rail and what's considered light rail or rapid transit. The rules that apply to each of them are totally different. The certification for operators is completely different. Metro Electric is considered a railroad. It was formed by a railroad. It's still a railroad. But they just can't wrap their heads around it. And plus they want to take, someday you can be able to get on at 93rd Street and take an electric train all the way to O'Hare. Did you know that? They want to do that.
There is no station at 93rd Street.
Well, 91st, 92nd.
95th Street?
No, though on the South Chicago branch.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We have a caller.
Over by there.
We do have a caller. Caller, sign in, please.
Hi, this is Karen Morelli with the Train Expo Huntley. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're just getting started.
We're just warming up.
There we go.
Okay, well, we'll start with you. We just went through a news broadcast.
Next victim up.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So, like I say, you're representing the Huntley Fall Fest. Want to talk about it, please?
Sure. I represent the Train Expo Huntley. We're a division of the Huntley Fall Fest, which is held at the Huntley Park District in Huntley, Illinois. We have train layouts, miniature or full-size miniature train displays in the gym. We have one vendor. We have circus displays. We have G-Scale Midwest Rails, their modular group, G-Scale. We have a group called Zal Web, and they bring 3 different scales. They bring G, Line L, and HO. New this year, we're going to have what we call a kid zone, where kids are going to be able to run their own train. They're going to be able to color. They're going to have building kits. And there will be a wooden train for the little ones to play with.
You try to get everybody involved.
Oh, yeah. And it's in September, the last full weekend of September, September 20th through the 22nd.
And if I remember correctly, they got good food there.
Oh, they have great food. And they also have live bands. They have a car show as well, craft show, a scarecrow contest.
Well, there's a couple of people on this panel that could win that one. We're going to enter, all 4 of us.
We're going to gather something out of that.
There we go.
Scarecrow, I did not know about the Scarecrow contest.
Yeah, my family has entered it every year. I have myself and my 3 daughters, aging 21 down through 12. Hi. When we do the Scarecrow, we do a train. We make the train out of cardboard, and then we'll have like a conductor and a few passengers.
Trust me, Rose will be good in that.
Yes, she is. She's a good helper with that.
Hi, Rose.
Hi. She's right here with me. Over there.
12 years old, going on 31.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let's see, what else?
Yeah, what else?
No, because I participate with Midwest Rails.
Yes, you do. There's circus. We'll have my layout is the circus train, which is World Circus. So that's a G-scale train.
Use my train.
And then they'll have circus builders. We're going to have a couple different new people displaying this year, but normally Larry is in charge of that, and that can go all the way up to full scale, half scale.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we start on Friday night, correct?
Friday night, September 20th, it's from 5 to 9 p.m. And then Saturday, September 21st, from 10 to 6 p.m. And then Sunday, September 22nd, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And it's all free. Well, except for buying the food. And there's also a carnival. You could also buy day passes for the carnival for the kids as well.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of rides out there set up for it.
My favorite one's going on your face.
Is there a website that people can go to?
Yes, it is Huntley Fall Fest 2019. And it has all the different bands that are playing and different activities they have.
Okay, well, I think we should have you call back in
Ask her what the location is.
Huntley, she said.
Where in
The
Huntley?
location is 12015 Mill Street, Huntley, Illinois. And it's at the Huntley Park District / Stingray Bay.
And we'd like to have you call back in August.
I would love that. Thank you, guys.
Have you call back in August, and that way we can refresh everybody's memory.
I would love that. Thank you so much.
And you can put the executive director on to your daughter.
She's right here. And I will.
Let her give the hard sell.
Right.
Yeah, let the ringmaster talk.
Thank
You
you.
guys know it too well.
I stepped on his face last year.
I'll make sure you don't have the ink pad. Well, thank you very much for calling in, and looking forward to Huntley, and looking forward to talking to you guys in August.
All right, thank you guys so much. Have a great evening.
You too.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
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 Oof.
Thanks, John.
Are we having fun yet?
What else you got for us, Uncle Dave?
Congressman to Amtrak. Fix Union Station's falling concrete.
I thought they
That's
just...
a demand. That's a demand. The U.S. Congressman is calling on Amtrak to fix the falling concrete and failing infrastructure at Union Station after it delayed several Metro trains. This was on Wednesday morning. I believe it was last week. Metro said all tracks were back open and running Wednesday afternoon, but the falling concrete had shut down tracks 2, 4, and 6 earlier in the day. It's really unacceptable, Representative Dan Lipinski said. This is not something normal, but it seems to be normal at Union Station in the past couple of years. No one was hurt Wednesday, but 2 years ago, passengers said they were hit by falling rubble. In January of this year, CBS 2 discovered a rotted beam fell at Union Station and sent one man to the hospital. Now, I'm assuming this is the what remnants of the old shed are left.
Coming out of it.
Yeah, it's in pretty sad shape.
Yes.
At the same time, Metro said it did not own the ceiling in question. Of course, Metro, not our ceiling, somebody else's. Amtrak runs Union Station. But 6 different entities have air rights to build or develop in the area above the station. Oh, it's a developer's fault now. Wednesday, a spokesman for the Chicago Department of Transportation said Amtrak and Metro were trying to figure out who owns the property while the concrete fell. They probably hired consultants. They're all standing out there. No, it's yours. No, it's yours. Again, this seems to be an attempt to pass the buck, Lipinski said. Gee, you think? I think the time is over for passing the buck. Amtrak owns and operates Union Station. They need to make sure there are no problems that interfere with rail traffic at Union Station. Amtrak declined to answer several questions, and let's see. The Amtrak spokesman said the building owner responsible for the area above the track is the U.S. Postal Service. Now we have somebody else involved, and that owner has been notified. Crews will work overnight to investigate the cause of the falling concrete. Duh, it's falling apart. You know,
That's right. 87th Street
Yeah.
at Anthony was closed earlier in the week. The concrete eyebrow from the overpass detached from the girder and made a concrete lay across 87th Street. The viaduct was closed from South Chicago to Anthony, and there were foot square pieces of concrete laying on 87th Street.
All right. Well, we're done picking on Amtrak and Metro. Let's pick on the Union Pacific now.
Oh, yeah.
We just did.
Oh, no, we're going to do it some more.
I think there was NS property up there. From what I saw in the news, they said it was the NS responded and were inspecting the bridge. It's the old Conrail, Pennsylvania, all those lines up there.
Yeah, New York Central.
It's uncertain. The future is uncertain for the railroad industry in Rochelle as the city says goodbye to some services later this summer. The Union Pacific announced it would be idling services for the Global 3 intermodal ramp in Rochelle in early July 2019. Now, this is just recently built.
Yes. Global
Rochelle
3.
Rochelle is not old; it's new. But we've got this new way of railroading in this country now. Longer trains, less service. So they're going to close down the ramp. They're also going to close down Canal Street container depot soon after.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to shuffle everything over to Joliet, which will not be able to accommodate the additional business. And the people that live around Joliet will be thrilled to know all the trucks that are coming and going from the UP's Joliet facility because they didn't want to keep Rochelle open.
However, Rochelle has a plan.
Yeah, they got a plan. Good luck with that.
City of Rochelle to consider offering its own intermodal service. The community, in response to the announced closure of UP's Global 3 facility, look along the possibility of developing its own intermodal container facility to offset the loss of UP. City officials told the Rochelle News Leader. UP announced last week that it was closing, as well as the Canal Street Container Depot, to simplify intermodal operations in the region. So they're going to stack it up more. And Rochelle already owns the 15-mile City of Rochelle Railroad, operated by Burlington Junction, and broke ground last fall for a transloading facility, the first phase of which is expected to open soon. Incoming Mayor John Barrow says the city is also exploring the possibility of Rochelle Railroad providing intermodal service.
Yeah, but how do they get the yard from the UP? I mean, the UP just doesn't hand it to them, right?
Well, they'll probably end up with a lease type thing. You're saying, okay, well,
Yeah.
you've taken everything out of our city, so.
I got one more item, which is kind of sad news. The Steam Railroading Institute announced the result of an audit and a preliminary investigation show a former employee embezzled approximately $200,000 from the organization over a nearly 2-year period. I'm not going to mention her name. The former financial director used a variety of methods to steal the money by directing it through multiple PayPal accounts to her personal bank accounts, arranging sole responsibility for credit cards, and falsifying financial reports to cover up the discrepancies. She used these funds to purchase gas, groceries, and many personal items for herself and her family in Michigan, as well as other states, among other things. So, they caught her, and I think she went before a judge recently.
Yes. I guess it's going to go to trial.
But the Steam Railroading Institute assures everyone that they have well off financially. They're not. This is not hurting them in any way. And that they expect to get restitution.
The Steam Railroading Institute has already posted the dates for the Polar Express runs, and they are selling tickets.
Oh yeah, they're not.
They're
They're not going to shut down anytime soon.
they're doing good.
Oh no, they're doing fine.
And
I think the first Polar Express is November 30th.
in fact, the Steam Railroading Institute purchased 2 Pacific Polar cars from Amtrak, because Amtrak's,
Yeah.
wants to get rid of that stuff, and because, we don't want to pamper people.
But with things like heat and light,
Yeah, food.
right?
And it cracked me up because I was reading a story with Amtrak. I should have bought it with me. In Rail Pace magazine, and the new Viewliner cars have been built, but the rooms don't have facilities in them. They just got a sink. They have 2 bathrooms on each end,
Yeah.
and what Amtrak's going to do is turn them into roomettes.
So where do people crap? In the sink?
It hasn't been answered, because there's a big question mark in the article. And what's going to happen with that? Maybe there'll be a special head car.
Head car.
Yeah.
Head car. Really a head car. Huh? The latrine car.
Yeah.
Just lean yourself up against the wall and go on the trough.
Some of this stuff is real, and it's so funny.
Oh, it is. That's because people who are running railroads don't know how to run railroads.
That is true.
They're accountants.
Accountants and
Airline executives. Not to mention names.
Oh, come on. Oh, let's talk about the big thing that we're all excited about.
Oh, maybe you are.
I am. I am. They just...
If I see another run by of the big boy, I'm going to off myself. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I agree with your sentiments. Yes, there's a lot of bad run by videos. At least USPs look pretty good.
These people are so excited they can't hold their cameras still, It's like, it's absolutely hilarious.
So it's the photographer, not the engine.
But
Yeah,
let's face it,
pretty much.
they for the anniversary on Friday, and for those who don't know what we're talking about, Union Pacific's actually celebrating the 150th anniversary of the first American transcontinental.
The Golden Spike.
Hoorah. And they're going to hold the ceremony reenactment in Ogden, because that's where the monument was moved to when they closed down and pulled up the track.
Did they invite the appropriate number of drunks to show up?
Oh, they'll find them.
I'm sure.
Are they going to do it 2 hours late while they sober up the territorial governor?
Isn't railroad history fascinating?
It is. It is. And, and they're going to have 2 locomotives meet, the 844 and the Union Pacific Big Boy. They have it running. They've got it looking good. It took them a while for the whistle to get toned right.
So they're not going to use the historic locomotives that the Park Service use?
The historic copies are at Promontory,
Okay.
and they have bus tours that are going out
okay.
there.
Right.
But we're talking something that weighs 1,209,000 pounds, and the largest, heaviest moving land vehicle could go 90 miles an hour. Okay, it's 80. And I'd want to see that.
Well, you and a million other people, have you seen the traffic jams along the right-of-way?
Yep.
No, you couldn't pay me enough to be out there. No, thank you.
That's why I'd have a nice spot on the hillside. There it comes.
Yeah, right.
And from the distance, it'll take a while.
Yeah.
There it goes. And the buffalo looked good too. One of the run-bys had buffalo.
Oh. Cue the buffalo.
Actually, it was somebody taking the video from the train. Hopefully the rest of the nation will get caught up in the event on Friday.
In the hysteria, the excitement.
Yeah. The hysteria.
I had to laugh. I saw a video of the CEO of the UP, he and his wife smashing a champagne bottle in a bag.
Yeah, they kept the.
You don't want to litter the.
Yeah, they didn't want to shatter the grass.
In the politically correct world, we can't leave glass laying around on the ground. Mm. Somebody might step on it, cut themselves, and sue the railroad.
That's it.
So we leave it in a bag, and nothing happens. But his cowboy hat was like absolutely ridiculous. I mean, what overcompensation there, buddy?
I mean, and you look at the train that went. I mean, you had the big boy with the water bottle, the 844, water bottle, diesel. They had one diesel, and then 9 cars. And apparently there were ticket riders on it.
Really?
Yes, they sold tickets for that train.
I wasn't invited.
I saw it too late.
Oh. Yeah, how much were the tickets? If I have to ask, I can't afford it, right?
Well, it's like that new train set from LGB.
19999.99999.
Go ahead, you teased to talk about it.
Well, they're coming out with a display of the Jupiter and the 119. And they're making it in brass, Aster. They're going to have a section of track with it and everything. It's going to sell for $9,999.99.
Okay.
They thought they'd scare people away saying it's $10,000.
No. Now, are these runners or static?
There better be runners. They're going to be runners.
Cool.
How's this for an impressive centerfold?
And no staples in the navel.
No, there aren't. Not at all. These are actual computer.
Look at that. It's beautiful.
This is what they think the actual paint schemes look like, not what the Park Service put on them. But they did a paint analysis and everything, and it's a lot more subtle, a lot more muted. But still a lot of gold and brass on there, oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I can remember when they had the Leviathan over in Hammond, and there was, Uncle Brian was up there with his buffing rag and his can of Brasso.
Compare the paint.
You would have sworn he was fresh out of Navy boot camp. He had everything ready for the Admiral's inspection.
Yeah, I'll
He
do
was
it.
polishing and buffing and polishing and buffing. So what are the? We're looking at 2 different magazines here with color paint schemes. See, there is a big difference.
Yeah, some of the scheme.
Yeah, it's less blue. What about the other one?
Okay. That's actually
No.
Close.
no, because it's blue in there and they got red.
Yeah. Green. So this is what the authentic one looks like. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, pick up a copy of Railroad History, the magazine of the Railway and Locomotive Historical Society.
What month is that?
That is the new one. That is brand new. That is Spring Summer 2019.
And this is
Number 220.
This is summer 2019. Just came in the mail yesterday for Garden Railways.
Why, so did this?
Same.
Well,
It is so nice.
Yeah, one of the wonderful things that I find belonging to different railroad history groups, especially the National Railway Historical Society, is that their railroad history magazine is awesome, absolutely awesome. If you're interested in railroad history, everything from locomotives to just general history in and of itself, there's a lot of stuff in here about this month Promontory and the Transcontinental Railroad, but they have book reviews, and it's well worth the price of admission, believe me, for what you pay for your dues.
Oh, definitely.
And what you get back in return is absolutely awesome.
Oh, yeah, that is a good magazine.
It is a good magazine, and it's the people on the masthead are just amazing, too. You've got, let's see, John White, who is well-known, H. Roger Grant, another author who's well-known, J. Parker Lamb, a friend of mine, David Lester. All these people are well-known in railroad history.
Yeah.
So there's my pitch for NRHS, RLHS, and NRHS is another organization.
Yeah.
That at least I know our Blackhawk chapter, we do monthly meetings except for 2 months in the summer, and we have interesting speakers when they show up.
Yeah, well, we have that too. And then every now and then we just make it up as we go along.
Yeah.
Because the speakers that are supposed to do it.
Well, that's what I did Friday. I had a presentation Friday to make up for somebody who we know very well being ill and not being able to make it.
Ah.
We love you, Doug. We miss you.
Yes.
I got one more item here about a model railroad group, and this is not here anywhere close. It's out in New York City.
Yeah.
Evicted Bay Ridge Model Railroad Club finds a new home. Now, we talked about this at previous shows, about some of the problems model railroad clubs have been having. Number one, with an aging volunteer group, as well as some of them are in lease situations that suddenly they have new landlords and the landlords don't want them anymore. So it looked like it was the end of the line for the Model Railroad Club, but Bensonhurst native Mark Wolodarski, who heard about the club being evicted, has decided to do something about it. He serves as a board of trustees at the Trolley Museum of New York. He knew he found the perfect home for the train layout when he read about the Model Railroad Club's eviction, and he had been a member of the group in the early 2000s but had to resign because of work obligations and life getting in the way. So the plan is to move it and run it in the museum. It's going to be a very long process because they basically have to break down something that wasn't meant to be broken down, to disconnect all the wiring and everything. But the club dated from 1946 as the merger of two former model railroad clubs, the Brooklyn Model Railroad, founded in 1932, and the Shorehaven Central, founded in 1936. And two local railroad clubs have managed to dodge the bullet. And I know the one in Park on the north side, Clarendon, I forget the whole name of it, the Clarendon something, Clarendon Ridge or something. It's in a Park District field house on the north side. And they thought they were going to get booted out because of renovations to the field house, but that story has changed, so they get to keep their home there.
Ah.
So yeah, it's a tough time for model railroad clubs. It really is, especially these older, long-lived clubs that have kind of not really rejuvenated themselves with new blood.
Yeah, and there was actually a story that came out last month that we didn't talk about. The old trails to rails, rails to trails.
Oh yeah.
And I had to laugh when I read it, when I got it, and I saw the story. And it has to do with the Oregon Zoo.
Right.
They had a wonderful railway around their zoo, and one of their trains actually is a scale of the Aero train, which 2 units
Right,
still
the
exist.
GM,
The GM
Aero train.
Aero, that's
Aero, AERO.
AE.
For you people.
Yes, and you can see one up at Green Bay or at St. Louis.
The one in St. Louis is sitting on the repair track, and it's gonna need a lot of cosmetic work. I had the opportunity to see it last year. It's in outside storage.
Mm-hmm.
It's going. Like I said,
I don't think the one in Green Bay is in any better shape.
I don't know. I think they finally do got it under cover.
Oh, okay.
And it's surprising. They could have fixed that up and sent it to the Streamliner show. If anybody thought about it.
Well, you know, it's funny that with the zoo thing. And
Yeah, let's get back to the zoo.
yeah, it's like they want to get rid of the zoo train and replace it with a trail, a walking trail. You know, where families could previously ride around on a very nice little model, well, you know, kind of scale train, much like Disneyland or something.
But it was about a 2.5 mile run.
Yeah.
It was about that long, and they ended up having a big washout with rain or something that took out the track, so they had to they shortened the loop to like a half mile, and they go, well, it's going to cost $2 million to relay the track and get the foundation done right, to get the right roadbed, and they're wondering if it's worth it. So maybe we just need a walking trail for.
Yeah, but how much does
bikes.
a trail cost? You have to remove all that rail. You have to resurface that whole area to make it safe for walkers. Probably put asphalt down.
Stabilize the land.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is modern America.
Okay, enough sad topics. Let's.
Well, you going to bring up the level here, Kevin?
Well, I'm not going to throw a chair, but I'm going to raise the mood. On the hobby side of the house, Menards has come out with a couple of new offerings, including the Sprecher Brewery.
Ooh. I like Sprecher root beer.
Well, this is the Sprecher Brewery, $99.99, including an electric Sprecher sign with animated lighting pattern and some figures and some aluminum half barrels on the loading dock. And yesterday morning, Tuesday the 7th, they advertised a free box truck, and it's Piggly Wiggly. It says buy any O-gauge item, $19.99 or higher, and get a free 1 to 48 scale Piggly Wiggly box truck. And immediately below it was a very nice picture of the Piggly Wiggly grocery store at $99.99. So basically, for $99.99, you get the grocery store and the truck. And as one of you gentlemen so nicely put it in your best sarcastic framing, let's go shop at the Pig.
That's what they all say down south. We're going shopping at the Pig.
And the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railway is running Mom's Ride for free with another paying adult fare on Mother's Day. And they are also later in the summer, if you happen to be in the Cleveland area. They're going to have the superheroes on trains, and they're showing Captain America, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Spider-Man on June 9th, and Royalty on the Rails with 4 of the Disney princesses on July 14th, both from the Peninsula Depot. So that's going on. And a pack of the 21-inch passenger car figures for Lionel came into my possession on Sunday. And when I say a pack, I mean there are 24 seated persons already painted, and they are designed to go into the 21-inch Lionel passenger cars, whether they're the passenger car or the diner car. They're very nicely done. And I also came into possession of the Lionel Civil Servants People Pack with 2 firefighters, a state trooper, a meter maid, a letter carrier, and the firefighter still in his turnout gear with his SCBA tank on his back, scratching the ears of the house Dalmatian. So Lionel is bringing out people in a variety of occupations and settings to give Lionel Railroaders a little more flexibility in their scenes and putting people in their cars. The first car that I'm going to put people into is going to be the diner car. And if I can figure out how to get a deck of cards down to scale, I'm going to have 4 of them sitting in the observation car, around a table, playing a gentlemanly game of gin rummy. I really don't think the railroad would hold too well to them playing Texas Hold'em.
Not unless the train crew had a bed in there.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, well, let's go to steam around the country. Pennsylvania steam. The borough of North Wales, Pennsylvania, will be turning 150 this year, and New Hope Railroad is proud to join in the celebration with 4 special train rides powered by the vintage 1925 Baldwin-built steam locomotive number 40. Passengers can ride for 1 day only, May 18th, as number 40 thunders between North Wales and Gwendale Valley over the rails of the Bethlehem branch, a branch once connected the city of Philadelphia with the Lehigh Valley and the all-important coal mines along. The train will make up of passenger cars, all original to the route of the train, with both standard coach and upscale first-class service available. This will be the first time in 28 years that a steam locomotive is operated over this branch, and the first time since 1985 that number 40 has left the north end of the New Hope branch to stretch its wheels on the SEPTA-Lansdale-Doylestown line. The train departs SEPTA North Wales Station 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 1:30 p.m., and 3 p.m. New Hope and Ivy number 40 is a 280 built in 1925 by the Baldwin Locomotive Works. It originally worked for the Lancaster and Chester Railroad. For ticket information, go to www.newhoperailroad.com. Steam in Illinois. Train enthusiasts, young and old, will have a chance to ride behind a steam locomotive as it travels the rails in Henry County, Illinois. The Anawanna Alba Firefighters Association is hosting steam train rides on Sunday, May 19th. Departure times are 8:30 a.m., 10 o'clock a.m., 11:30 a.m., and 1:30 p.m. Trains depart the Anawanna Main Street crossing. The train will travel from Anawanna to Genesco and return about 45 minutes. Iowa Interstates number 6988, the Chinese-built 210-2, will power the excursion trains. Tickets can be purchased online by the Anawanna Alba Firefighters Association Facebook page or by emailing aafpdstation@gmail.com. Niles?
What's the story with the engine, with that engine? I thought they were going to retire it or something very soon.
Which one?
The one that they're using for this excursion.
One of them's going to be retired, and the other's going to be rebuilt.
Oh, okay.
Because they got 2 of them.
Right.
One they Americanized.
Okay.
I forget which one. Niles Canyon out in California will be help the Golden Spike 150th Anniversary Railfan Days. While many will be spending the particular day enjoying it in Promontory and thereabouts, those remaining in the Bay Area and other will have the historic opportunity to celebrate the all-important 150th anniversary connection between Central Pacific and Union Pacific at 10 a.m. Pacific Coast time on May 11th. The Niles Canyon Railroad will offer never-before opportunity to ride behind two iconic standard gauge Malays, the 2662 Clover Valley number 4 and the 2442 Columbia River Belt Line number 7, known as the Skookum. This event is limited to 150 passengers. Multiple photo run-bys will be held in the historic canyon. At 1:30, a family railfan trip will take place with both locomotives operating again. One photo run-by will be held on May 12th. Niles Canyon will operate a pro railfan event with 2442 Skookum. Multiple run-bys will be held, and then at 1:30, the family railfan event will be held with the Skookum again, one run-by per land. For ticket information, go to www.ncry.org.
Is this narrow gauge?
No, standard.
Standard gauge.
It was the old Sacramento Northern trackage, and they've turned it into a wonderful museum. What's interesting is, like the Black Hills Central, which was narrow gauge and then standard gauge, they're running a true Malay with the logging, and basically the same type locomotive, 662 tank. In Black Valley, they're running it in Niles Canyon, and they just bought another one down from Washington. They're going to rebuild, so they actually have will have 3 Malays running there. Because Snowcomb, as small as it is a true Malay with high pressure, low pressure cylinders. Now the Slim Princess, when they're going narrow gauge now, the Southern Pacific 460, number 18, which they took to Durango. They wanted to teach the crews how to work an oil-fired locomotive. On the first day, they blew a cylinder and literally destroyed the piston. However, they did open this week with trains that went all the way up to Silverton, and with a coal burner. I think there was still snow on the ground. The lease expires in June 19th, so hopefully they'll have the piston repaired. That's a shame.
Ain't that a shame?
Yes.
This is for tonight, which by the time we air will be over, unfortunately, but check your TV listings. The Science Channel is going to have a show actually today at 11. It'll be rerun at 11 to 12, and it's called Extreme Railroads, the Trains That Built America. So that look really good from the coming attractions. So if you got dish or cable or whatever, check the listings on the Science Channel and look for Extreme Railroads. And they've been rerunning some of their older episodes also within the last week or so. So and that's a pretty good series that's out there. In addition to that, they have the Milwaukee Roader, which is a historical magazine for the Milwaukee Road Historical Society. On the back cover, they have a beautiful picture of the Metra train that ran on January 10th, 2019. in the Milwaukee Road colors and with the Hiawatha symbol on the front of the engine. Milwaukee Road, the train, when it first ran, went to Grays Lake, Illinois, and I think that's the route that it's going to stay on. So you may want to check the different metro routes if you want to get a photograph of the engine. But it's a really beautiful engine. It's the second in railroad schemes. The first one was the Rock Island, which was also a really nice engine.
What's the cab number on that Milwaukee?
405 is the cab number.
No, 2 months ago I saw it on the Antioch line,
Oh,
North Central.
okay.
I saw the hot dog this morning.
Oh, which line did you see it on?
I was on the Rock Island.
The Don
Yeah.
Orsino.
The hot dog. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, he was a hot dog.
Well, this one I would assume that they would run on the Milwaukee Road lines, which unfortunately there are several of them that Metra has that run on the Milwaukee. So I've been hoping it would have ran on the one that goes out to Milwaukee, but so far I haven't caught it there.
When you talk about going to Fox Lake.
Yeah, right. So, anyway, I'm going to try. The other line would be also, I live in Elmwood Park, so I was hoping maybe one day it would run down that line too.
Oh, it'd probably go out to out the west line.
Yeah. So what I want to find out is I'm going to try to go online and see if they have any type of schedule that you can pinpoint it, but I don't think so. Hit or miss.
Hit or miss.
Mostly miss.
Maybe
Yeah.
You know, if it's captive on the Milwaukee district, you're going to see it at some point, but don't even anticipate when, because they'll just throw it on a train.
Right. Yeah.
You know, as long as it's running and as long as it's got fuel in it, it's inspected every day and out it goes.
The other thing that I wanted to mention is for those who are S-Gauge or American Flyer fans, the Chicago area has the Chicago Association of S-Gaugers. One of the largest S-Gauge clubs meets at 7 o'clock, third Friday of every month, and it's at the American Legion Hall in Hinsdale, Illinois, and or at members' homes. All are welcome, and they list the phone number for both the president and the treasurer, and this was in Gargantuan magazines, right? You can correct me.
Escagian.
It's
Oh.
gargantuan.
In their minds, they're gargantuans.
Hey, they were
The
superior.
HO, yeah, the HO people and gaugers.
So anyway, I thought that would be interesting. Try to give some plugs out to the various railroad people.
And the one plug that I've got is going to be for Friday night. So some people will probably hear this because this goes right to the computer. The showing of Iron Horse at the Chicago Park Ridge Public Library. And they're doing it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, they're showing the General at the Beverly Arts Center for Southsiders.
Yeah.
What day will that be?
That's coming up. I can shoot you information.
Please.
Or I can let you borrow it.
Okay. Discover Card has started spewing out the Discover blog. And one of their blog postings were the top 5 train rides in the United States. And they are number 1, the Amtrak Coast Starlight train. Number 2, the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad. Number 3, the Cape Cod Central Railroad. And if you go on to Cape Cod, you can go to the Eco Car and spend your whole trip learning about ecology, or you can go to the Premier Car and have dinner. Number 4 being the Grand Canyon Railroad, and number 5 being the Amtrak Empire Builder. that's their opinion of what the top 5 are.
Well, I believe our journey is coming to an end.
We'll have to hold that thought till the next show.
Yes. Maybe we'll do a thing on for dinner trains.
Call in and tell us what your favorite train ride is.
Yes. Or even try sending us an email, and I know our monitor will shoot it to us.
Yeah, it won't be an email, but send us a post on Facebook. Join our group. We're a fun bunch. It's Chicago Junction on Facebook.
As our express comes into the station, we want to thank you for joining us on our journey through the wonderful world of trains. Chicago Junction is a production of the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network, and be listened to on the web at www.windycityhometown.com, where you can listen to tonight's broadcast and all our past episodes, and also some of the other programs that are being offered. Again, contact us on Facebook if you really would like to hear something or want to volunteer your services to be a host. This is your announcer, Brian Ballou. Till next month when we journey again to Chicago Junction.
You have been listening to Chicago Junction on the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network from the John DeVita Broadcast Center on Wednesday, May the 8th, the year 2019. Chicago Junction was produced and directed by John DeVita, and our special thanks to the executive producer of Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network, Mr. John Chiconda. This broadcast was pre-recorded on Wednesday, May the 8th, the year 2019. Until next time, friends, please be safe and thanks for listening.